Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. I hope you're having a good day and I hope this video can make it a little bit better. It's the start of a new week and so we have a new set of weekly adventures. And these weekly adventures are actually quite special because this is going to be great practice for the next set of monthlies. So first we have a 1.5 star up against Gangplank with the special rules of Chronicle of Ruin. So round start, kill all units, then revive them. So this is one of the normally more difficult modifiers in the monthly challenges, or it's difficult if you don't really know how to get around it. So I think this is a week you really want to practice with this modifier. Now, kind of the best way to get around this is just using Annie with Dreadweight Chase Guns, because every time she's summoned, and when you revive that counts as being summoned, she's filling your hand with these zero cost burst chase guns that can deal massive damage to the enemy nexus, and so she's able to blow through the enemy nexus very, very quickly. However, another good strategy is to just run GA or Guardian Angel on one of your champions, especially a cheap champion like Teemo, so that when they die, they're going to get revived and they're going to essentially make a clone because of that Guardian Angel. So I think this is the week to really practice with this modifier, find out what champions you like to use this on, and that way for future monthly challenges, you'll always know what you want to pick when you see this modifier. Now, next up, 2-star, we have No Looking Back. This one, it's just not worth playing around. While the player has no cards in their hand, their units have 2/2. This will barely ever trigger because you have to have 0 cards in your hand. If you get any cards, this 2/2 goes away. And having no cards in your hand is very bad because then you have no options. If the enemy plays a spell or tries to do something against you, you literally have no tools to stop them because you have no cards. So this one's never worth playing around, just ignore this one. Minimalist, this is one that is, again, from the monthly challenges and is quite enjoyable. It's actually one of my favorite powers. Game start, the player starts with 2 extra mana gems, but they don't get any more at round start. So you're wanting to end the game very quickly and really leverage the fact that you're starting with generally 4 mana. There's a lot of decks where all the cards cost 4 or less, and so there's a lot of different champions you can play here. You can go for some of the early game champions, such as like Samira, and put a lot of pressure on early, try to end the game in like the first round. Or you can go for some of the champions where their champion already would cost about 4 mana, so like Gwen or Lowy, also very strong champions, and you can play your champions immediately and really start putting the pressure on. But again, this is one that pops up fairly often in the monthly challenges, so I think you should take this week and again, practice on this adventure and find out exactly who you like to play with the minimalist, that when it pops up in the monthlies, you immediately know who you want to pick to counter this modifier. Last up then, we have the 3.5 up against Fizz. We have Bar Fight. When a unit is summoned, shuffle its stats. That's kind of just annoying. And then Iterative Enhancement. Round start, the foe summons the next turret. Now this one is also in the monthlies fairly often, but it is kind of boring. It's just every round the unit gets the next strongest turret. So it is putting a timer on your games. This also has the Vicious Enemy, just making everything a little bit harder. Now here, especially since you're against Fizz and with this Iterative Enhancement, you just want to play a deck that can end within a decent amount of time. The enemy's going to be getting free units every single round, and they're just going to get stronger and stronger. So even if you pick a mid-game champion, that's fine. You just really don't want the game to go into the late game, because the enemy will start then overwhelming you with units. Once they get to about 8 mana, I think they start summoning a T-Hex every round, which is a 8/8. So the enemy getting a free 8/8 unit every single round is definitely very powerful. So you want to avoid that condition. So you just want to play a champion that can end the games relatively quickly. Like, you don't have to finish them in 1 to 2 rounds. You just can't let the game go into the late game, because then you will start getting overwhelmed with these free units that the enemy is getting. So very broad, open-ended adventure right here. Should be pretty easy. A lot of people you can play this on, although I know most people just choose their most broken champion. I do really recommend, though, playing these first 2 a couple times, testing out different champions, seeing what you like. I know for especially this one right here, I'm going to try a couple different champions with Guardian Angel, see what I like, just so that when the next set of monthlies roll around, I have more experience with this modifier and know even more ways to counter it. Alright, definitely comment down below what you think of these weeklies, if you found any powerful combinations for them. I think it should be a pretty fun set, but that's it from me. I hope you all have a great day and a great start to your week.